to Farow at Home. I'm here for you. I'm Chef Patrick. We have no guests today, which is all right with me. Still making great food. Got Lisa here. We are live, so please ask me some questions. If you need anything, whether it's related to this video, other stuff, food in general, it's all good. Cool. So today we're going to be doing this chicken.
What is going on?
Huh?
Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties here.
It's all good.
I don't know why this music keeps playing.
Well, cool. Well, chicken Milanese, it's basically chicken cutlets. We're going to be doing some whipped ricotta with that. Mixed vegetables, hopefully, you know, whether you're getting a CSA, I laid out kind of a share here, which I'm going to keep doing every week so people can kind of see what's in season, any of that. So, yeah, sweet. Sorry, there's background noise throwing me off a little bit.
No, totally fine. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened with any of this. I changed nothing, and then I'll just decided to do whatever it wanted. So
cool. Well, we're gonna get started here. Thanks for being here. Yeah. So I guess first thing we're actually gonna make the ricotta. If you just bought some, that's cool. You can hold off on this step, but it's so easy to do. You know, hopefully you just got a little local milk or something, and we're gonna do like 3/4 of a half gallon. I think that should be plenty for the two of us tonight.
3/4 of a half gallon.
Right? For us?
I don't know.
Should I just use it all?
Why don't you just use it all?
Okay.
Make people do complicated math.
Oh, it's fine. It's
So like
easy.
if we were feeding 4 people, we would need a gallon.
Dude,
roughly.
it's so easy to do. Like,
I mean, what's the worst case? You have a little leftover ricotta.
yeah, for tomorrow.
I mean,
All right. Cool. So we're just gonna get this going. I'm gonna put it on like medium high-ish, just to kind of. You know, we're gonna bring it up to a simmer, and yeah, we'll go from there. So, please use all the veggies you've got. We'll get these cleaned up really fast. A bunch of these are going to be kind of dirty still and or need some kind of cleaning.
what do we got on the board here?
Let's see. We've got radishes, turnips, carrots, bok choy, peas, sugar snaps, and some snow peas here. And a little bit of the spring onion still. Well, technically this is shallots, but
That's an onion.
it's onion. So, yeah, sweet. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of this, you know, it's all organic, you know, bug holes, whatever. Not really worried about that. Actual bugs, you know, kind of got into the bok choy, so we're going to just chop it up and give it a good rinse and clean. But, yeah, it's the, you know, after being on the farm, I can see how somebody, 50 years ago, whatever it was, thought that GMOs were going to be great
Yeah.
and save us, but it turns out they're worse for you than they are better, just because of, you know, you just have a plant that's resistant to the herbicide and the insecticide, and you just spray it and everything else dies. And yeah, it saves a ton of labor.
Well, I don't know what the rationale was that we like came up with that, oh, it's okay to kill things with poison, but it won't kill us, so don't worry.
Well, it's
Or we can have small doses of poison. Shankini, to answer your question too, we did a half gallon of milk for just the two of us. So if you're feeding 4 people, make sure you do a gallon of milk.
I mean, it's going to yield a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll have plenty. Whipped ricotta leftover isn't bad.
No, I mean, with all these spring veggies or like the fruit that's been coming out, I mean,
Yeah. You could do whipped ricotta with sliced apricots and cherries and drizzle of honey.
oh, it'd be awesome.
Just eat it with a loaf of moxie bread or something.
Yeah.
Be so good.
Be a good breakfast or a snack or whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, we're just stringing these really quick. It's worth it. Get these strings off.
And happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Oh yeah, it's Father's Day.
It's Father's Day.
Nice.
I know Sundays have become so focused on doing the live stream, I kind of forget when other things are going on.
Though we did wish the dads a Father's Day today.
Yes.
Earlier, so cool. Get these clean. We'll get this bok choy chopped up and we'll get a nice clean on that.
Actually, that whipped ricotta with peaches once they're out.
Dude, it's great with fruit
Yeah.
and everything.
Really
It's kind of
close.
like putting burrata with fruit, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's
No,
just
natural
great.
pairing.
It's just really good. Whipped ricotta and cherries would be incredible.
Well, it's so easy to make. Like you guys will see here in a minute. I mean, all we did so far was put milk on the stove and turn the
Yeah,
burner on.
it's going to be awesome. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and make these kind of a little easier to eat so you're not trying to slice them up in a bowl with ricotta.
Yeah, what kind of gives you the intuition of when to do things like that versus like serving them whole like you might in like a stir fry or something? Like what makes you choose to do it one way versus the other?
So it just kind of depends. Like a sauce that you want to swoop up with veggies, or like something like what we're doing with the ricotta, or if we had like a strained yogurt or something. Try to make it bite-sized so that it's just one less thing to worry about trying to figure out before you fork it up. I don't know. I just try to think of like the convenience of eating
Yeah.
depending on the dish.
Yeah, well, and keeping everything like more towards the same size too usually makes it easier. Shankini wants to know how you prep kohlrabi.
Kohlrabi.
She's got some kohlrabi in
Nice.
the mix today.
So beginning of the season right now. Skin should be pretty tender still, I would imagine. So you don't have to worry about peeling it. If you want to like make it into slabs, like a 1/2 inch thick to a 1/4 inch thick. So it's gonna cook. It'll take a little longer to cook than like a Hakurai turnip or something. But just a little more density to it. But early season, you don't have to peel them. Later on, if the skins get too thick, you'll need to peel it.
Okay.
Just because it can be.
But these are like probably the very first ones of the whole
Yeah.
year, right?
Yeah.
So what would you like dice it?
Yeah.
Is that where you're going with this?
Yeah.
Dice it and then saute it. So she should probably, out of her mix, start those first and then add veggies.
Well, honestly,
After.
like all this stuff, it's still spring. I think, in my opinion, like everything's still good raw.
Yeah.
So I'm going to saute all this together at the same time.
Okay.
Like, and just where the textures land, they land. Like the greens will be fully cooked and then stuff will be like half cooked or whatever. So, I don't know. I'm just a fan of spring veg and not like super cooking it. If you like want to really, I'm just pinching off these tops really fast that are a little brown. But yeah, if you got spring veg and you want to like cook it more, Yeah, you'd want to throw kohlrabi in first and then probably carrots as well at that time.
She said she's got kohlrabi, carrots, and spring onions for
Nice.
this.
Nice. Yeah, spring onion. Yeah. So we'll slice this up really quick. Honestly, kind of cut it in half to make it faster. So I'm just going to thin slice this really fast. Cool. Little spring onion. In with the peas. And then this other stuff we're going to need to wash really well. So let's see. On
What,
the
like the
greens.
bok choy?
Yeah, like the bok choy, like just a lot of bugs, man. It's organic produce. Sometimes it's tough. And once they get in the greenhouse, man, they're there. It's so difficult to get rid of them. So,
Well, they're hungry too, you know?
yeah, I'm just kind of, this is a little older of a head I've had for a bit. I'm just kind of looking for any yellowing or leaves that don't look great. I don't mind bugs so much, but
Well, the bug holes, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
don't want bugs on the produce.
cool. Right. Right on.
So are you kind of filling this up like the same way that you do when we've washed greens before? To, like, allow all the dirt to sink to the bottom?
Yeah, I try. I don't. Pretty sure the bugs will kind of sink or something.
The bugs?
Yeah. I'm just filling them up. Trying to rinse them off the best I can. They're not going to hurt you, but should be left in the water when you're done. Yeah, they kind of sink a little. Cool. There's that. So then we can get our carrots washed up and everything else.
I noticed you threw away the greens on those is because they were old.
I'm just not, like, I don't really care for them like sauteed into stuff. And if you get a radish top that's bolting, those greens are just going to be a little tougher.
Okay.
So I'm not going to use the tops on all the radishes, just on some of them here.
How do you know that they're bolting?
It's going to be a really thick stem, like so. And then you can kind of see flower bulbs starting to form here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trimming off that root base, make them nice. And I'm going to slice these after we wash them. This guy's bolting as well. You can just see the flowers starting to form. Plants get stressed out.
What causes the plants to get stressed out?
Number of things. Lack of water. Too much heat too fast. Bugs. Lack of nutrients in the soil. Just a bunch of different things. We'll put these in. Cool. Yeah, I mean, we're just using everything. Everything you got.
Yeah, do you think it doesn't really matter like what combo of veggies you're using? So if you have something different
Spring.
in your CSA
This is
box.
like such a spring. It's a spring veggies, whatever you have. Because this dish with the ricotta, it just lends itself to. It's kind of like last week when we did.
Pork chops
Gosh, yeah, the chops last week.
with the mushroom ketchup.
The mushroom ketchup, it like lends itself. It's a similar deal. Like it lends itself really nicely to spring vegetables. So
Yeah, it kind of has that like umami, sweet but earthy flavor profile.
yeah, and I mean, since we
Was
did
so good.
pork last week, I decided not to do it this week. But I mean, if you were to make this again in a couple weeks and you want to do pork cutlet instead of the chicken, it'd still be great. I just wanted that crispy texture to kind of go with that cheese and the veggies and stuff.
Oh yeah. So why do you leave the little nub of green on the
Because it's
veggies?
edible. It looks nice
Okay.
to me. You can chop them off if you don't want it there. These young veggies, you know, all that stuff's tasty, so. We're just getting these nice and clean.
Get all that dirt off.
Yeah. I'm not peeling anything. It's young.
Oh, you don't need to with those carrots at all.
No, all these young vegetables. I typically don't peel carrots until they've been like kind of stored for a little bit and they've cured.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't have to worry about that till we get to winter. Oh, your milk, your milk, your milk.
Sweet.
Don't forget about your milk, guys.
Ooh.
Hopefully
Milk.
that didn't just go all over your kitchen.
Milk. If you're making cheese right now, it's ready. So it came to a boil. So I'm using a cider vinegar. Okay. And all we want to do is a capful at a time. And then we're going to take just a spatula there. Kind of stir it in.
Do you ever pre-salt your cheese?
I'm going to do it in the RoboCoupe.
Okay.
Another cap.
Yeah, I guess it really depends on what you're using it for. So what are you looking for?
For this it's essentially going to look broken.
It'll start to curdle and get like chunky on top.
I hope so. Sometimes super homogenized milks don't split very well.
I don't think that milk was very homogenized.
So
I try not to buy super processed milk.
yeah.
starting to see any progress or no? I can't really tell from my camera.
No, it should be though. So.
Well, we got the high fat, like cream on top.
There we go.
I was going to say there should be plenty of fat in that milk.
So, kind of see how that curdled?
You lift it up slightly just to like get it a little closer to the camera for me. So you can see it up close a little better.
Where? Here?
Just a little closer to the camera.
This way?
Yeah.
So, see all those curds now. So the milk split. And if you're starting to see curds, but your milk still looks a little cloudy, add another cap of vinegar. I mean, we're just putting in a cap at a time and stirring it in and then waiting for it to kind of start the process. And then it should be like your whey, which is what this is, should be clear like that. If it's cloudy at all or still white, add another cap.
Yeah, there's still fat to be extracted from it.
So after that, we're just going to let that sit for about 15 minutes and just kind of let the curds hang out.
Yeah.
So, pot, there it is. Simple as that. We'll use a little wire mesh strainer to strain it off. Cheesecloth makes it even easier, but...
Do you ever use the whey for anything?
Yeah, the whey, I'll soak chicken in it or pork just overnight, kind of as a brine.
So do you like add the salt and the sugar like you would to a normal brine and then use the whey for the liquid instead of water?
Yeah.
Shankini, no, you're gonna pull it off the heat and you're just gonna let it sit.
Yeah, just...
You wanna add the vinegar off the heat.
It was boiling. If yours didn't come quite to a boil and you caught it at a simmer, you can turn it on to low while you add your vinegar, but...
From what I've learned with making cheese, like you generally don't want to bring it to a full boil. You want to bring it to where it's just about to and then shut it off.
Yeah.
And add it. But ours got away from us.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to come out fine.
Oh, it'll be great. Yeah, no, it's
Either
not a big
way.
deal.
Cool. So yeah, so I left my turnips out all day yesterday on the counter, so my greens got a little more wilty, but I'm still going to throw them in just because it's still going to be delicious, so. These are all clean. Little yellow. I don't know. I like fresh, bright green greens, so.
Shankini said she's still waiting for her simmer.
Nice.
Yeah, it takes a little while, and then as soon as you get impatient and turn your head, it boils over. It's the same thing when you're making caramel. The minute you stop looking at the pot, it just goes to hell.
Burns.
It's so true.
Feels like you're waiting forever, and then you're not.
Yeah, like I said, it's about the time you lose interest. Everything starts happening.
Cool. So, veggies are all clean. Lots of dirt. Cool. Bolted top.
Is it okay when they're split open like that?
Yeah, it happens like when they get too much water. With all the rain around here, they can just split open. If you have bolted radishes, they may or may not be great. So they could be woody. It's always a chance, unfortunately. Yeah. A little more fiber than I'd like. Anyway. Cool. So, goal is to just kind of get these all to about the same size when we're cutting these up, so they kind of cook at the same speed. Right. Greens. Then we've got these nice carrots.
Just cutting them on a wise.
However you want. I just love doing the bias stuff, you know. Adds a little more surface area. Cool. Then turnips. Just kind of quarter these and throw them in.
Yeah, we've had such a crazy spring here. Like, I can't get over how many things we've had so early this year. I was mind blown when we saw apricots at the market this weekend and cherries last weekend. It's like Christmas every weekend. Peaches are going to be here before, I think they're going to be here by the end of June. It's possible.
We'll see.
Usually we don't see them till mid-July.
We'll have Shiro plums and
Oh yeah, I heard those are in the works right now too. I think somebody, might have been Ayla. So there's going to be a few weeks. So
we got this beautiful mixed veggies that we're just gonna saute up, and this will go over our cheese, and then we'll do some sliced fried chicken and right over top, and it's gonna be awesome.
sounds great to me.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, and these too. All this good stuff.
Oh, your green onion?
Yeah,
And
and the
your
peas.
Are you going to add those last then?
We're just gonna cook it all. It's gonna be awesome. So, let's go ahead. We're gonna move, well, we'll cut the chicken first here, and then we'll bread it up. So, we have these they're really thick. I don't wanna try and fry these because they're just gonna burn and be raw in the middle, realistically. So,
So you put it on its side,
put it on its side,
slice it down the middle,
get these more manageable,
thinner patties.
thinner.
Can I ask why you did that instead of tenderizing it? Like with a meat
Oh,
mallet
pound it
thing?
out?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. And you're having pieces like this big, though.
Oh, well,
Like a giant.
it could be like a chicken pizza with veggies on it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, please. I think this is more manageable for your pan and everything.
What are some safety tips for doing what you just did without slicing your fingers off?
Keep your fingers out of the way.
Have a sharp knife.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, manageable chicken pieces. Also, like I said, pork would be killer with this.
Yeah.
So let me bring some
Just checking out the cheese cam.
breading station over here.
Now with the cheese, you want to just leave that sit still, right? You don't want to mess with it at all
Oh, I'm
while
just
it's
leaving.
resting.
I'm just leaving it. It's fine. We are going to strain it and then throw it in the robo. Add a little whey back in if necessary to make it like whipped.
Yeah.
But
Well, I also have heavy cream in the fridge. I don't know if
Yeah, I don't
that's
need-
helpful.
that's not helpful because heavy cream with the higher fat content, if you try to whip stuff, you can actually take it to the point where the heavy cream then breaks.
Oh, and it turns to like whipped cream or like butter.
And then you're with a different kind of mess on your hands.
Yeah.
Which I've experienced
I mean-
firsthand. So,
Yeah, I guess when I'm making desserts and stuff, like I'll do that with, I'll paddle cream cheese and then gradually add some heavy cream and like whip it into a mousse that way. So it's like a cream cheese whipped cream.
but when you're dealing with, I'm
Yeah.
trying to make it foolproof.
Totally fine. So what do you got going on here? You haven't told us what's in your
Yeah.
pans here.
I did an egg. Depending on how much chicken you're doing, you might need 2. Did 1 splash of water for an egg
Just to
wash.
thin it out.
Yep. Using a fork, use a whisk. Get it everywhere. I lost all my egg white. Cool. Just want to make sure that white gets torn up. Kind of whipped in. Terrible noise.
Yeah, it is. It's like
Cool.
nails on a chalkboard.
So, we're doing flour. We got breadcrumbs here, which we use croutons to make. It's all the same, I guess.
It's just stale dried bread.
Yeah. So, we want to do, season up your chicken a little. Salt. You can do salt and pepper if you want.
How come you didn't put it in your flour?
I like to season everything directly. That way I know what it's going to be. So, right in the egg. Then we're going to go right.
It's like you might need some more breadcrumbs.
We don't have any more. So,
Oh.
we're going to have 2 pieces of chicken.
It's all right. There's only 2 of us here. It's all we need.
So, one looks great. We'll barely have enough, but that's fine. Some salt. Right.
Fairness, I feel like those are pretty coarse breadcrumbs.
That's what makes it good. Anyway, it's all good. It's just there for texture. There we go. They look great. Cool. So, we'll go ahead and do the ricotta really quick just so we have it. Then we can focus on cooking up the rest of the dinner.
Are you gonna cool the ricotta down at all in the fridge before you?
I'm not
put
for
it-
this meal. I wanted it warm.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna strain this off, but we're gonna reserve a little bit of this whey for.
Can you do that over here where I can see what you're doing a little bit more?
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks.
Where do you want it? Right here?
Yeah, just somewhere where my cameras can reach.
We're gonna reserve some of that. I don't need all of it, but if you want, you can reserve it for brine or not. Cool.
Got a
So
pretty good yield on that.
that's the remainder.
Hang on.
Put the basket back over the pot we cooked it in,
Cool. That was
just
easy.
to kind of, just to let it drain off. So that can sit back there and drip. We got some brine in case we need it. Cheese should look great. Ours was nice and curdled up, so.
Yeah, the butter fat in that milk is always like super yellow and nice.
All right. Cool. Well, let's get pans going, and this is called shallow frying for your chicken.
So you're putting like just enough to coat the bottom of the pan, plus a
Yeah.
little extra.
Yeah, we just want like 1/8 of an inch in there. We'll get that going. I'm gonna put it on medium. Medium, little over medium. Then we will get pan for vegetables as well. Cool. We can get rid of our chicken board that we had out. And chicken knife.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to chop anything else after you chop chicken.
Little spray.
Sanitize the board.
What's that?
So just sanitizing the board.
Yeah, just being careful. Cool. Yeah, pretty simple one today, huh?
Yeah. And you made your own cheese and everything.
Cool.
Shinkini said the vinegar until there's clear whey. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, cap at a time.
Yeah, cap at a time. Make sure you stir it in.
Stir it in really
between.
well. Give it
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah, give it a second.
Make sure it's not gonna, literally like 5 seconds. Stir it, let it sit. See if it starts to curdle. If it doesn't, another cap. Stir it in, give it 5 seconds. I've had instances with like commercialized milks. Just once in a while, they're so homogenized, you can put all the acidity you want in them and they don't break. So, but
And I mean, Shinkini, the way, I mean, you probably saw ours. It's not going to be like clear, but it's not going to look milky anymore. Like it won't be white. Depending on the milk that you have, it'll perhaps be slightly yellow.
cool. And yeah.
Yeah, she says she has a curdle, but no clear whey yet. So that,
Yeah, add another
so
cap.
maybe just one more cap and then,
Make sure it's hot enough still.
yeah.
If it sat too long off the heat before you started the process, you might have to heat it up a little still. It's a very yeah. But anywho. So I'm gonna do it.
What are you doing?
Spritzing
Little
my
water.
pan, but I put oil in it first. So.
Oh, you're breaking your rules. You're asking for trouble.
Always.
Oh, I hate that sound of water and oil. It stresses me out so much.
So.
Man, those veggies look pretty.
Yeah, nice, this mix. Springtime. Cool.
Oh, Shankini said she sees the yellow way.
Nice. There you go. Yeah, if you don't take it that far, you will get a lot less yield, which I've seen those mistakes as well. When you like do a batch at the restaurant, we are doing like 4 gallons of milk, and you find out somebody didn't take it far enough, and it's too late because it was like an hour ago, and you're just like, Chef, it was really weird. We only got like a quart of cheese off 4 gallons.
It's like, great. There goes food cost. I've seen people like, or recipes for whey ricotta too, but I've never understood how that works exactly, because I thought that the whole process was about getting the fat out of the milk. So like
It's
once
when
the fat's
people do
out,
that when they don't break it far enough.
oh,
And then they reheat that liquid again and then add more acidity and get an extra.
okay, that makes more sense, because I've never understood. I'm like, how do you get a second round out of this? This literally makes no sense to me at all. There's nothing left. I mean, if you did it right the first time.
Yeah. Just is what it is.
Can you turn the hoods on?
Cool.
I'm gonna say it smells hot, that oil.
We're good. Nice. So, chicken's frying. Give your veg a little toss. We're gonna do a little salt in there, season it up.
Now we're trying a new camera angle on the stove today to see if we can keep my phone from overheating. So far, so good.
Cool. So,
Shankini, that's all the veggies at once, except for the peas, right?
well, I mean, I left the peas out. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and throw them in though, with the onions.
Yeah, I mean, the peas just cook so quickly, you don't want to overcook them.
Yeah. So, chicken's in, veggies are cooking. Uh-oh. Peas are good. No salt. They're doing great. Well, let's go ahead. We're gonna put our ricotta in our food processor. And we're just gonna whip in those curds a little bit.
So you just put the ricotta in,
Yeah.
and then a little splash of the whey that you reserved?
Yep. When it's hot, it's so easy to do this way. Like I said, if you bought store-bought and you're doing this, sometimes it's just easier to do with a little milk because you're not going to have the whey. But
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to please, like a tablespoon away at a time. It's like kind of like doing the capful of vinegar at a time. Like you don't, if you overdo it, you just made ricotta and then you added too much of what you just took out back, and it's not going to be great. But this, I'll show you the consistency here. It's beautiful. So, like this,
It's like
really nice.
Slightly grainy, but like
Oh.
smooth at the same time.
Yeah. Like you want it to be, that's why I say a tablespoon at a time if you're adding back in whey.
So right
'Cause-
now you have the ricotta you made, a little teeny bit of the whey, and then some salt.
The salt. And it's, oh, so good. So,
Yeah, another nice thing to do with this too is to add like some lemon zest, or you can add chilies to it if you want to make it a little bit spicy, or I mean, you could really play around with the flavor. I mean, I think even fresh herbs, correct me if I'm wrong, but might be nice in there.
yeah, and when you're whipping it, you can also always just put some olive oil in it instead of your milk or whey.
Okay.
But I'm going to drizzle some right over top for this. I don't, but that's always, sometimes it's fun to have that olive oil flavor in there.
Yeah.
But this, yeah, it's perfect. And this will go with fruit, whatever. It's great. You could even, it'd be really good too if you whipped it and then added a little sugar if you wanted to lightly sweeten it.
Yeah.
Even scrape a little vanilla bean in there with fruit for a dessert, nice spring dessert.
Yeah, something super simple.
Oh, it'd be so good.
Or even summertime. I mean,
Cool. So veggies, I just shut them off. We're good to go there. We can taste for salt.
and you flipped your chicken a little bit ago, right?
Chicken's flipped.
How do you know when to flip it?
When you start to see a nice golden brown edges in your pan. Okay. Always taste, if you have greens in your pot, make sure you gotta taste your greens for your salt level. They'll soak up the most salt the fastest.
And you always want to add salt as you're cooking, right?
I try to.
Like you don't want to just wait till the end to season them.
Well, like the salt in the beginning helps to start draw out the moisture. Helps accelerate the cooking process. I've got the chicken on medium right now. Obviously, it's going to be dependent on your stove and your range and everything. But
When you were temping the oil earlier, were you looking for something specific?
I
Or?
was just trying to see if we were at 350 before I dropped them in.
Okay. So you want the oil to be around 350?
Yeah,
It probably doesn't take long for that to heat up when it's that shallow.
no. And then we're just going to go for 165-ish. You know, it's getting kind of close when it starts crackling because that's water coming out of the chicken.
Well, I mean, it kind of crackles in the beginning though too, doesn't it, when you first
Not
put it
really.
in?
Not too much. But cool.
So what's the crackle versus the sizzle?
Water. More water. All right. So everything's seasoned. We're going to get the got this lemon we're going to use.
What made you decide to flip them again?
Because I noticed the edges were getting a little dark. So you can turn it. We'll do a temp check here. This little guy is done. We're at 140 on the bigger one. Turn down that heat a little. And cool. So we can do a little plate magic over here. Shut off the heat. So what I'm going to do, we want a nice base of this, because we're just going to use it to kind of swipe up with all the vegetables and the chicken and everything.
Yeah.
So we have a nice base of that. We'll take the veggies, right?
Oh, it's like the rainbow.
Yeah.
So pretty.
And so I'm gonna do a little fresh lemon. We got this really nice olive oil. I just love the flavor.
Well, this is kind of Italian inspired, so
Yeah, for sure.
might as well throw a little olive oil in there.
Got this chicken here. Took that out.
Is that the first one?
No.
Oh, that was the big boy. Oh yeah, it got quiet in here now.
So, what I want to do with this, we're going to let that hang out for 1 second. And just slice it. Also along the lines of just trying to make this easy to eat.
Oh, I can like hear that chicken crust crunching.
And we're just gonna go kind of right on top here for me. So we've got this really cool chicken dish. And if you got that lemon juice, we could, if you wanted to clean it up a little bit, but
Give me a little twirl.
yeah. It's pretty nice, right?
It's beautiful.
And should we try it?
I think we should.
Just a little something. A little something here for everybody. So we got this beautiful chicken.
Are you gonna be able to eat that without burning your face off?
Why not? You know, a little bite of everything.
Was it everything you dreamed it would be?
Great. Spring. Oh, it's so good. The textures, like all the veggies are like half cooked, so and then you
There's
get
still a
that
little crunch.
super crispy chicken. That ricotta's there. And I mean, you could do this even as we get into summer. You imagine like some marinated roasted peppers and
Tomatoes and
roasted tomato on that, and oh,
that'd be amazing. Shankina, to answer your question real quick too, the ricotta only had whey and then salt. That was it. Nothing else.
yeah, whey and salt. Oh, it's such a simple dish.
Yeah.
We did all that. It's right at under an hour,
Yeah.
and it's like
Made your own cheese from start to finish and everything. I
it's
mean,
beautiful. So, yeah, realistically, just awesome. So you got 2 weeks in a row there. Mushroom ketchup, ricotta. I'd say the ricotta's a little easier than the ketchup to make.
Yeah.
Not by much, but I don't know.
Sam said the ricotta is his favorite part. It's the first time he ever made it himself.
Nice.
It's really easy, and you know, it's not something crazy. It doesn't take a lot of time. You don't need any fancy equipment. If you got a strainer and a pot, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah, like I said, as long as you break it all the way, it can be a nightmare if you like don't know what to look for the whey.
Yeah.
Like as long as you get the clear whey, it's great. Because if you don't take it that far, you end up with this really fine cheese. The yield's terrible. Yeah, I don't know. But sweet. Well, yeah, thanks for being here. If you guys got any value out of this, please, as always, like and subscribe. And realistically, I hope you enjoy your food. So,
The guide.
oh yeah. So, also, if you missed it, we did put out a cooking essentials guide for your kitchens. You know, it's a nice little list to kind of cover realistically what you would want to just make everything. And it's, I mean, kind of looks a little extensive, but there's a lot of odds and ends, like as far as utensils on there. But just helps so that you can make whatever you want.
Stock your kitchen, stock your pantry.
Yeah.
Have a little checklist of what to have on hand, and that should help you be able to make most things with us without having to fuss over a lot of stuff. So, and then there's some like different tricks and tips in there about using salt, fat, acid, and heat in your cooking and how to adjust accordingly.
Almost forgot here. You guys, as always, like finishing. Little chili flake on here. I'll add a nice little. We got some Aleppo.
Aleppo is my favorite.
If it's a little like, it's great on this, or if you have some za'atar. You know, if you're getting these burlap spices, great over these vegetables right now with the cheese too. So.
Well, and the za'atar won't have chilies in it though.
No.
That's a sesame and herb blend.
But man, it like
it really elevates things.
adds a nice little touch if you have it available.
Yeah.
Like either one is really good on there. So, but sweet guys. Well, yeah.
We'll
Until
see
next
you guys
time.
next week.
Have a good one.
Yeah, enjoy your dinner.